Hey everybody, it's been a little while since I've checked in with you guys, so I wanted to make a brief video here to cover this topic, making the most of an OpenNote AP exam. And so I want to just talk about some of the updates and clarifications College Board has sent out and give you guys a little bit of peace of mind as you've tried to process all these changes that College Board is making. And some of you are taking multiple APs, and so it's just a lot of information that you've been trying to digest as well as study for the AP test. So I'm going to try my best to just re-clarify some things. And some of you have been asking, hey, Mr. Vogel, if the AP exam's OpenNote, like, is our AP mock OpenNote? And the answer is yes, of course. We're going to try to make this AP mock as close to the AP exam as possible. It's not going to be exactly like the AP exam because we're not going to be using AP's website to take the exam, so that'll be one major difference. But I'm still going to try to recreate a similar experience as best as I can. Okay, so let's kind of get into the details about how to make the most of this OpenNote AP exam. And at the end of the video, I'm going to kind of just talk about what you can do for your notes when you're trying to restructure your notes for an exam like this, because an OpenNote exam can be actually a hindrance in a sense that could keep you from really performing well because you rely so much on your notes. So let's talk about what's going to be on this test and how to prepare for it. All right, so here is just some of the general College Board stuff that you need to make sure you're aware of. And this is the big bulk of really what I'm going to cover today. But originally I posted this slides presentation for you guys to kind of go in and make sure you understand the key updates for the AP 2020 exam. So if you haven't looked at that, make sure you check this presentation out. I posted it on PowerSchool and on the Google Doc, the class Google Doc, under AP Review. So a lot of important information is in this presentation. But for today, let's focus here on these general guidelines. So number one, make sure you are actually getting the communications from College Board. Okay, check your spam email. This is how they're going to be sending the e-tickets, the e-test tickets, and you're going to need those in order to take the test. So 2 days before the exam, you will be receiving an email from College Board with this personalized e-ticket. It's going to include your e-ticket, and it will include your 8-character AP ID code. So you're going to need that in order to actually take the test. So if you haven't been receiving any emails from College Board regarding all the resources that they are making available for you to prep for this exam, like YouTube, they've been posting a lot of stuff on YouTube. They have these exam prep sessions that they're going to be posting, I believe, this week and next week, and all the other changes that they've been making regarding your AP exams. You should be receiving some notifications from them. Okay, so if you're not, that's a red flag, and you need to go into your My AP and check what is your contact information. And so that way, when it comes to the day of the test, you're actually able to take the test. So yeah, don't make that mistake, please. Okay? I don't want that to be any of my students. Number two, if something happens during the exam, let's say your computer crashes, right, or your internet crashes, and boom, you're like signed down, you can't get back into the exam. What you can do is they do have a little bit of insurance here, a bit of security for you, in the sense that you'll be able to sign up and request for not a retest, but a makeup test. Okay, so if something like that serious does happen. Also, if you look here at point number 3, okay, if you don't even show up for that test, that test in May, the first one, they're going to send you another e-ticket, most likely, for the makeup test. Okay, so if you want to take it later, so let's say you're just not feeling comfortable with it right now and you'd rather take it in the early June, you can push that back and take it on the makeup day. so they will allow that. There's going to be 2 test dates, whichever one you're more comfortable with. Now, the AP exam is like a fridge in a fancy hotel. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you open that nice bottle of sparkling San Pellegrino that is on top of the fridge, or you get into the mini bar, right? If you open that, you are paying for it. You will be charged, even if you don't drink the water, right? Even if you don't drink the whiskey, okay? They're gonna charge you. So, don't open it unless you're gonna take it. All right? Very important, you will be charged. Okay, so yes, if you do have a serious situation where just somehow, like your internet does crash, file for a makeup, go into their website, and file a receipt for a makeup test because of your circumstances. Again, they will be investigating to make sure that it's actually applicable to you and that you're not lying about it. Okay? Number 4, we have been told we're going to get some form of how this exam is going to look like and the submission process. So College Board is saying this week, actually, and next week, they're going to be providing these exam prep sessions with experienced readers from April 27th to May 4th. So College Board is going to provide us with a sample of digital submissions, so you won't be submitting online for the very first time on the test day. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit of peace of mind as well. So you can actually know what the heck it's going to look like on their website when you're trying to submit your exam. So that's really good news, and I have posted this link for you on the Google form, on the Google Doc under the 28th and 29th for you to go to sign up for these exam prep sessions. So if you haven't already done that, you should have actually got an email from them on this, so you should already be signed up for it. But if you haven't, please go to that link and sign up for the exam prep sessions with experienced readers on the Google Doc under the 28th and the 29th of April. Okay? Alright, number 5, College Board recommends that you have one window open to type your response and another window with the prompt and the countdown clock. So right now, from my understanding, College Board is going to allow you to be able to write your response on like maybe Microsoft Word or like Google Docs or Apple Notes or whatever software you feel comfortable writing on or typing on, and then you can go copy that and then paste it into the actual system, into the text box of the College Board response. So that's one option. Now, that doesn't mean that you should just cheat. Gosh, I really hope you guys don't cheat on this and like plagiarize each other's. They have a plagiarism system software that they're going to be using, and they're going to be doing a lot of checking online to make sure your answers are authentic. So don't cheat. There's actually already been cases of students in the U.S. trying to get around the system of AP in ways that they can cheat for AP Physics, and they've been caught and reprimanded already. So don't let that be you. Okay, that will seriously affect your college career in the future going forward. You don't want to have that on your resume as a freshman. Okay, so yeah, if you want to have the prompt on one side of your screen and you want to have the answer that you're writing and typing up on the other side of the screen, you can do that however you feel comfortable. Hopefully you have a nice big screen to do that on, right, rather than a small little laptop screen like myself. Okay, number 6, you will use your ticket to join the exam about 30 minutes in advance. Okay, so use your test ticket 30 minutes in advance. You need to show up about 30 minutes before the exam, and they're going to ask you some specific questions to really just kind of confirm your identity. And then what's going to happen is the test will start at the designated time, which for us in Hong Kong it'll be 2 a.m. right on May 20th. 2 a.m. May 20th. Make sure you're there. Okay? And then the test will start and the prompt of that question will come up. Okay? Yeah, so just make sure you're there 30 minutes in advance. Otherwise, you won't probably have enough time to complete the exam, because you're going to be filling out all these questions that test your identity, and then by the time you actually get to the test question, it's going to be 15 minutes into the test already, and you're going to be out of time to complete the first FRQ response. So don't let that be you. Show up early, okay? Get on there 30 minutes early to fill out that identity confirmation form. Number 8, we already covered. Number 7, don't cheat. Number 8, I'm getting a copy of everyone's responses. Okay, so this year it actually is going to be a little different. I've never seen responses of students' FRQs before in the past, so they're saying they're going to send it this year to us at the end of May. And I don't know if they're going to provide me a scoring sheet with that on how they're scoring it or what not, but yeah, so I will actually see your answers, I guess. And if you just draw a dinosaur in your paint software, okay, I'm gonna know that. So please don't do that. Please take it seriously. All right. So these are kind of the general College Board things that you need to be aware of. So here are just some general tips, FRQ tips to remember. You've been practicing FRQs all year. We took quite a few tests last semester, so hopefully you're familiar with this format. Just make sure you follow these things. Writing complete sentences, space out your answer, underline, bold, italicize. In this case, you could just type in all caps for the terms. Make sure you're defining the terms and always apply the terms, right? You don't need to write in an essay format. You don't need an intro, conclusion, but do write in complete sentences, okay? So you can pause it, look at these, but you should kind of already know these by now. And then what will the questions content be on, right? So you're going to have 2 questions for this test. Question 1 is going to be related to some type of concept application regarding terms from units 1 through 7. Most likely it's not going to be related to research methods, because that's what question 2 is going to cover. But for question 1, you're going to need to define some term and apply it to a specific authentic context or scenario that they give you. Okay, 25 minutes for this, and there will be 8 terms that you'll need to apply, 8 concepts that you'll need to apply. Okay, so this is worth 55% of your grade. So this is the biggest question. 8 terms is quite a lot, but there have been AP exams where they have required 8 terms. So this isn't the first time we've ever seen this. It's not crazy. So you're going to be okay. And you can actually type it this year, so you should be able to do it quicker. And an example here of applying a concept, right? You've got John is running a marathon. How do the following help his performance? So let's say this was one of the terms that were related to this this scenario, this context, the cerebellum, right? And a response that would score on this would be saying, well, one, defining what a cerebellum is, but then also explaining that John's cerebellum helps coordinate voluntary muscle movement in balance, right? Which will keep him from falling over during the race. So in this example, I am giving an application of my understanding of what the cerebellum does, but I'm also relating it to John, I'm running it to running, and I'm relating it to this race and his performance in this race. So I would score. But if I just define that and I say, the cerebellum controls balance, all right, that's just a fact. That's a flat-out definition. I'm not going to score for something like that. So make sure you're defining it and also applying the term, okay? In terms of this year and how you're going to be scored and how do you get a 5 on the test, I don't know what the cut score is. AP never tells us that this is what the cut score is going to be this year. It changes from year to year. That won't be released until they actually score the exam. But for instance, if you don't know every single term that they give you. And then in this case, you're going to have 14 terms that you're going to need to apply, 8 for this question and 6 for question 2. Don't freak out if you don't know one, okay? It's okay. So, for instance, let's say the cut score is 12. And you need 12 out of 14 to get a perfect score, which is a 5. That's a perfect score, right? You don't need to get 14 out of 14 to get a perfect score. Let's say you might just need 12, okay? So if there's one you don't know, don't freak out about it. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Question 2 is going to be research-based. It's going to be research application. Make sure you're studying your research unit, okay? And try practicing research FRQs. We're going to do one tomorrow in our class on Zoom. We're going to practice a research application specifically, but you're only going to have 15 minutes for this one. So if you don't know your terms, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So make sure you're preparing for this question. I want us all to do really well on this test, okay? Now, for prepping your notes, yes, you are going to be allowed to use notes for this exam. However, with at-home testing, do not fall into the trap of just not studying or studying very little. This is a big mistake, and you're going to have a rude awakening on the test day. So, looking over having access to all your notes can be really overwhelming, and that could really slow you down in terms of your performance on this test. You don't have a lot of time, so you need to be efficient. You need to know your stuff. You need to be able to apply these terms. You can't just write down a definition. That's not how you're going to score, okay? Know your stuff, be able to apply it. So how can I organize my notes? Have a binder, right? Print them out. You know, I don't recommend having your notes on your computer. I recommend printing them out, having them there in front of you, having something tangible that you can flip through, okay? Because if you're going through the test, you're going to have the box, the prompt on one side, and then you're going to be writing on the other side in the other window, and you're not going to want to be having a third window open to try to find your notes, okay? So if that's what you want to do, you can, but I recommend having a good organized system for this, okay? In regards to the AP mock exam, same thing. I recommend having them printed out and ready to go for the AP mock as well. So how can you organize them? What are some strategies you can do? I've listed a few here. Underline, highlight key terms, concepts, cross things out that you don't need to know, right? There are certain terms from the book that we studied in the units that you don't need to really know for this exam. So don't put everything from your notes on your test notes for the AP exam, right? Get a Barron's book, look through the key terms, and apply those things into your notes, right? The SC and the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Probably not going to need to know that, so don't put that in there. Add things that you missed in a different color. So maybe there were certain days that you were absent, maybe from class. Put those in a different color so they stick out to you. And then lastly, you can group important concepts or terms together, right? So, for example, maybe neurotransmitters. You want to group those concepts in a specific region. Okay, add questions that you might still have regarding your notes. Identify gaps and points of confusion. You know, if there are things that you don't understand or you still have questions on, you know, figure those things out. Like, start trying to find the answers for those, okay? If you don't know what classical conditioning is, if that's still a mystery to you, you need to figure that out. Send me an email, get on YouTube, do some research, read your book, and figure out the concept of classical conditioning, okay? Lastly, I have here, summarize your notes. Okay, this is going to help you write a brief summary, maybe at the top of each page of your notes. This is going to give you clarity of what is on that page and what that page is talking about, so you're not reading through all the notes and seeing everything that's on that page and looking for monocular cues or neurotransmitters or brain parts. Like, have a brief summary so you can just look, or a title so you know what this page is going to be addressing, okay? And lastly, I recommend rewriting your notes. Okay, I recommend rewriting it. A way that you could do this is just put up 3 columns, okay? I don't have an example here on the page. You can just put up 3 columns. Column 1 is the vocabulary term, column 2 is the definition, column 3 is an example, of that definition, right? And then that's going to really be easy for you to just go through there and possibly apply the example into what you're relating it to on the FRQ scenario. Okay, so that's how you can prep your notes. And last slide, I just want to remind you when the test is going to be. Okay, here we are, 2 a.m. Hong Kong time, Tuesday, May 19th. That is not going to be applying to us because we're taking at 2 a.m. Tuesday, May 19th is going to apply to the U.S. times, right, Central Time. So for us, that's actually going to be Wednesday, May 20th at 2 a.m. at the wee hours of the night. So start preparing for getting up at 2 a.m. and taking an exam that early in the morning. It's really unfortunate that that's what we've got to do this year, but you guys are going to be okay. You're not the only ones in the world, the only students in the world who are doing this. So it's going to be all right. We're going to make it through this, okay? I hope that helped. I hope that cleared up some details. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I will see you guys later. Take care.